Guys, welcome back. Hope everyone's had a great weekend, and although mine is swiftly coming to a close, it's around 8:30 or so on a Sunday night, so tonight will be my Monday. Uh, just want to show you some stuff I got recently in the last couple weeks, some high-grade silver and bronze, and some stuff that was inspired, what I would call YouTube-inspired purchases. But anyway, I'll get to it. This first one is Lois Lane number 104. This is a giant size book, and where I've finished collecting my run of 100 pagers, I kind of want to start getting in on the other giants that DC and Marvel put out, and like some of the square bound stuff by Harvey and Archie. Just something about that format. There's a lot more reading, and for a kid, I always thought it was great. You got more bang for your buck. Like I said, this is one of the giant series. If you'll notice, like this G75. This was like another one of those little odd numbering things that DC had going on. Like they would run them, I would guess, in succession, like of as far as date wise. G75, might mean okay, this came out in April of '71 or something like that, and then the next one might be like a Batman giant and be G76. So like a lot of the 100 pagers, they had like a duplicate numbering. It's kind of confusing, and I've read a lot of articles on it, and a lot of it still really doesn't make sense to me, but it's all good reading. Anyway, it's pretty high grade copy, probably a VF. It's kind of hard to find these books. It's got a spine like that. It's got a little ding here on the end and a little ding there, but otherwise pretty good shape. Here's a number 109. Also in fairly good shape. Got some little dings on the top, but otherwise pretty good shape. It was a really cool Dick Giordano cover. A lot of times I would get confused when I first started collecting because I thought a lot of these were Neal Adams covers, and where Giordano inked a lot of his stuff in the early 70s. I kind of had to look close, but later on, I kind of found out the difference. And a lot of times Giordano would sign his stuff down in the corner with a little G inside of the D. So sort of looks like Neal Adams. It really is Giordano, with cool cover. And this is one of my favorite covers that I never did have. Another cover that might be mistaken for Neal Adams, but another Giordano cover. I don't think he's got his initials on this one, but anyway, I always like the Lois Lane as the Snow Woman. It's number 107, 15-cent cover. I just love the colors on that. With the yellow and the red, and you got the snow. And a lot of these Lois Lane books, you had the rose and the thorn back up. I think a lot of these were done by Andrew and Esposito, and I think later on maybe by Don Heck, who also did a lot of the Batgirl stuff in the early 70s. These next two, a couple of Wonder Woman issues from the Bronze Age that I didn't have. And these two issues have one of my favorite DC villains, Cobra, in it. And this is number 277. And around this time, I think the Huntress backup started, and I think Joe Staton did a lot of these. That's a pretty cool cover. Like I say, I love the colors on this. And this is like a very fine near mint copy. It's 278. Sorry about the glare on these bags. I really haven't had time to rebag them yet. Another Andrew and Giordano cover. And Final Combat with Cobra. Pretty cool cover. Okay, and then an issue of Invaders that I had missing, number 12. It's obviously a Jack Kirby cover. Really nice shape. I'm closing in on finishing this run. And we have Brave and Bold 120. Now, this is one of those books, and I've seen a few guys that do this a lot too. Like if you have a favorite book or a favorite cover or something like that, anytime you see a deal on one or see one in high grade, you'll pick it up. So this is probably like the 4th or 5th copy I've got of this. I'm going to have to see when I go through my Bronze Age DC stuff, because I'm still in the process of trying to catalog everything. I've actually got all of my Marvel Silver and Bronze Age cataloged and in a box, so it was like 10 long boxes full of stuff. And I think with the DC stuff, where I was more of a DC fan earlier, there's probably going to be like 25 long boxes full of that stuff I'll have to go through. But anyway, this is one of my favorite Brave and Bold issues, 120. Awesome Jim Aparo cover, Batman and Commandy. And then you have a Secret Six reprint, Plunder of the Pentagon. I think it was reprinted from issue 2. Another great series to collect from the Silver Age. Like I say, these square bounds are hard to find in high grade, and this one it's kind of got a miscut, but otherwise it's pretty good shape. So 120, and there's an Iron Man 133. I think this was part of the same lot. Looks like it's got an Ant-Man appearance. I've kind of seen lately a lot of those are going up in price, so thought that was a nice one to snag. Iron Man 133, the Hulk appearance. And here we have Submariner number 40 against Tarala, and this is it's actually a team up with Spider-Man. Pretty nice copy. I think there's just a little bit of rust on the staples, but otherwise pretty decent shape. This is the one of the few times on the interiors you get to see Spider-Man drawn by Gene Colan, so for that alone, I thought it was worth having. Okay, here's some War Comics, Star Spangled War, number 160. I think I may have already had this one, but this was a high-grade copy I got for a decent price. But I always loved these 48 and 52-page giants. You always had the bigger and better logo on the spine. And these weren't the square bounds. I guess they were what you call saddle stitched. But really nice shape. Great Joe Kubert cover. Okay, some more 25-cent giants. Adventure Comics number 420 featuring Supergirl. And then you have an Animal Man feature. Another story called Starman plus Monster from Krypton. So, nice cover. It's really good shape. Like I say, it's got the bigger and better logo on the, I guess on the spine. So it's kind of cool. Okay, the last half of this. Okay, this is one that I had missing too. Number 410, Adventure Comics featuring Supergirl. And I think there's a Legion of Superheroes reprint, Revolt of the Girl Legionnaires. Another one in really high grade. I'd probably call that a VF plus. Kind of got a miscut on the top. I think with a lot of the Marvel Silver Age, you had like the Marvel chipping on the edges, and with DC, a lot of this stuff was miscut on the top and the sides. So, okay, an issue of Avengers I had missing in my run, number 115. Against somebody named Skull. Pretty cool cover though. Like the colors on that one. And Captain America 121. More Gene Colan goodness. Coming of the Man Brute. And I got some Silver Age DC. Here's the Atom number 20. It's got a great Gil Kane, Murphy Anderson cover, and I think most of the art in the Atom was by Gil Kane and maybe Sid Green on the inks. I'm not sure if Murphy Anderson did any of the interior inks or not, but this is a pretty high grade copy. Probably call it like a fine plus. Got some dings on the spine there and down in the corner, but otherwise pretty nice looking book. Okay, and these I think all the rest of these are pretty much YouTubers inspired purchases. Hippy just did a video recently where he showed like his Werewolf by Night Man-Thing and Howard the Duck and Fear. And it reminded me that I probably needed to, aside from the issues that I need to fill the holes in the collection, I had several that I wanted to upgrade. And two of them, these weren't really high grade, but considering the other copies I had were bought originally when I was a kid, you know, pretty rat shaped, and the covers are barely on them, and they're spine rolled. You know, I read them so much. But there's Howard the Duck number 12. Probably a VG fine. You got some issues up in that top corner. But as you probably saw in Hippy's video, this is the first appearance of Kiss in a comic book. And anybody that hadn't read Howard the Duck, you really ought to try this series out. And like Tom said, you know, this stuff is probably going to go up in price later on because there's like rumors of another appearance in Guardians of the Galaxy in their next movie. But it's just a really fun series to read, and if you can't get into Steve Gerber's writing, man, it's it's kind of off the wall, but really good stuff. But Howard the Duck number 12, and number 13 also upgraded. Like I said, it's got some issues up in the top corner. Now, this would probably be like a VG because of all the stuff on the top, but my other copies were like maybe Poor Plus. But here's like the first full appearance of Kiss. I think they had a cameo in the last panel of the previous issue. But Howard the Duck number 13, Omen of an Exorcist. And I upgraded my copy of number 1. This is actually pretty high grade, pretty decent shape. It's probably call this a very fine, great Bruner cover. A lot of these covers with black or dark backgrounds are really hard to find in high grade, as everybody knows, because if you get any kind of crease, you know, you get a break in the color, and you can really tell it on a black or a dark background. But this is a really cool book, Howard the Duck number 1. And like I say, those were inspired by Hippy. Thanks for that, Tom. More money I spent. And these, I think 3 of these next 4, of these last ones were inspired by Captainstrangelife. Hans always has the greatest stuff, and stuff that I hadn't thought about in a while, or stuff like, hey, that looks pretty cool, because he just, his enthusiasm just kind of makes you want to collect that book too, you know. But these are pretty neat books, and I got this one pretty decent grade. This is Casper the Friendly Ghost number 70. I think this might have been like the last issue that it was called Casper the Friendly Ghost, and it continued the same numbering. And if I'm wrong, somebody correct me, but I think after this it was called the Friendly Ghost Casper for some reason or other, but it continued the same numbering. I'm not sure about that, but I'm sure Hans or somebody will correct me if I'm wrong. But this was a really high grade book and got a really good deal on it. I think I paid maybe $7 for this. Got a little browning up in the corner and a little bitty ding. But other than that, pretty good. 10-cent cover price. And like I say, this is, I think Captainstrangelife, he collects rainy day covers. So this is pretty neat. So this another one is one I'd never heard of. And I just thought it might be a nice one to have. I guess it was part of Harvey's Hero Adventure line. Harvey Thrillers. This is Jigsaw number 1, Man of 1,000 Parts. And really about the only thing wrong with this one, it's got a date stamp right in here, and you might have a couple creases up along the top. But other than that, pretty nice book. The Jigsaw Man, I'm just assuming he's some kind of robot or something. But I never did see this, and a lot of time I get on an oddball or esoteric kind of kick, or I start buying books that I've never heard of or haven't seen. But I thought this was a nice one to have. Okay, these next 2, the last 2 here, are the first and second appearances of the first and second Silver Age appearances. of Catwoman. And like I say, these were Captain Strangelove inspired. I'd seen these covers before, but I never realized that what the significance of them were. This is like the second part of the story. Lois Lane, number 71. Hush money, sweet Lois, or else. Like I say, a lot of these stories are cheesy. But you know, I kind of like cheesy once in a while. And like I say, you had what I call the go-go checks or the racing checks or whatever at the top. It's pretty decent grade. It's probably like a fine plus. And that's the second part to the story. And the last book is Lois Lane number 70. Other than being like a little dirty, it's a pretty decent copy. Like I say, first appearance of Catwoman and with Super Pussycat. And I'm sure you guys that have watched Tom's video saw the his alternate cover version of this, which was pretty good. And you got a special guest villain, the Penguin. But pretty nice copy. A good Silver Age key to have that won't deplete your funds, maybe. Lois Lane number 70. Okay, guys, that's all I got. Thanks for watching. Appreciate all the comments. I've really made an effort to try to get caught up on everyone's videos lately, and in some cases I'm like 2 and 3 and 4 months behind. But guys, I'm getting there, and I appreciate all the support that people give me on YouTube. And like I say, I hope you guys had a great weekend. And as always, onward and upward.